You know, for the last 50 years, this little striped symbol, it's been the unsung hero of pretty much all of retail. It's on almost everything we buy, and it's what makes checkout lines move and supply chains actually work. But as amazing as it is, its time is, well, it's kind of running out. And what's coming next is a really fascinating story.
See, the problem with the traditional barcode is that it's a bit of a one-trick pony. The thing is, all those lines, they only hold one single piece of information, the product's ID number, its GTIN. And that's it. In a world where you and I want to know everything about what we're buying, from where it was made to how to recycle it, that one little number just doesn't cut it anymore. So what's the upgrade? So get this, 2027. It's being called the year of the sunrise. Now don't panic, this isn't some crazy hard deadline where everything breaks. Think of it more like a global milestone. It's the target date for the entire retail world to be ready to read a much, much more powerful type of code. It really is the dawn of a new era.
All right, so let's get into it. This is the Barcode's big upgrade. We're talking about moving from that simple one-trick pony to a genuine information powerhouse. And this isn't just about speeding up the checkout line. It's about making every single product package a whole lot smarter.
Here's the problem, right? The classic barcode, it basically only talks to one thing, the checkout scanner. It's like having a library card that only has the book's catalog number on it. Super useful for the librarian's computer, sure, but it tells you, the person holding it, absolutely nothing about the story, who wrote it, or if it's any good. It just speaks one language to one device.
So, if the old barcode is the problem, what's the solution? Well, meet the hero of our story, the GS1 digital link. It looks like a normal QR code, but it's built on this amazing global standard that's about to turn every product package into an interactive gateway to the internet.
So what exactly is a GS1 digital link? This thing is actually genius. What it does, basically, is it takes all that old product data, that GTIN, and packs it inside a totally normal web link, a URL. This means one single code can be read in two different ways. A checkout scanner can pull out the specific data it needs, while your smartphone just sees a web address and takes you there. One little square, two huge jobs.
I mean, just look at the comparison. It's night and day, right? The old barcode, it held one single number for the checkout. That's it. But this new 2D code, it can hold that same product number, plus the expiration date, the batch number, and that super important web link. So it serves the retailer at checkout, the people in the supply chain, and you, the consumer, all from the exact same scan.
Okay, so this is where it gets really clever. One code, two jobs. How in the world does it speak to both a checkout scanner and your smartphone? How does it know the difference? Well, the answer is surprisingly elegant, and it all comes down to what's doing the scanning.
Yeah, the Packaging Design Academy really nails it with this quote. They say it's all about having a single on-pack 2D symbol that can carry POS data and link consumers to rich content. That is the whole game right there. It's about that dual purpose packed into one tiny square.
All right, let's break down exactly how one scan can work in two totally different ways. See, the checkout scanner at the store, it's programmed to look only for the data it cares about, the product ID for the price, the expiry date, stuff like that. It just completely ignores the web part of the link. But your smartphone camera, it does the exact opposite. It sees a web link and boom, it knows to take you to a website. So the real magic here is that the code itself doesn't change. It's the device doing the scanning that determines what happens.
Now, for a massive global system like this to work, you can't just, throw a QR code on a box and cross your fingers. There are some very clear, very standardized rules of the game to make sure that every scan works perfectly every single time, no matter where you are in the world.
And believe me, these are the non-negotiables. You've got to have good contrast, dark on light. You absolutely have to respect the quiet zone. That's that empty space around the code. No graphics allowed. You can't stick it on a corner or a crease where it can get distorted. And this is a big one. You have to print it at the right size. They call it the X dimension. And then it actually has to be tested with a special verifier to make sure it gets a passing grade, like a C or better. It's not a suggestion, it's essential.
Okay, so when we talk about these 2D codes, there are mainly two flavors to choose from. The one you're going to see on almost all consumer stuff is the GS1 QR code. Why? Because it's super phone-friendly, easy for us to scan. Then you've got the GS1 data matrix. This one is incredible for really tiny spaces, like stamping a code directly onto a tiny circuit board or a surgical tool. Both can do the job, but for retail, the QR code is definitely the star of the show.
All right, so we've nerded out on the tech and the rules. But what does this actually mean for you and me? Why should we care? This is where it all pays off and gets really exciting.
And get this isn't just some nice idea that companies are thinking about, it's literally becoming law. For instance, over in the EU, since late 2023, wine bottles have to have a QR code for e-labels with all the ingredient and nutritional info. And coming up in 2027, a lot of batteries will need a QR code for what they're calling a battery passport, detailing their materials and how to recycle them. So yeah, this is happening. It's real.
So what kind of cool stuff can you actually get from a scan? Well, think about it. You could scan a bag of salad and instantly get a recipe idea. You could scan a new toy and pull up a video showing you exactly how to put it together step by step. Or maybe you scan your lotion bottle to double-check the ingredients for an allergy, and while you're at it, see the company's entire sustainability report. All of that from one quick scan.
So, next time you're out shopping and you see a QR code on a box, you'll know what's really going on. It's not just some link to an ad. It's the very beginning of this huge global upgrade that's turning every single product into a portal of information. And that really leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about. If every single product on the shelf could talk, what would you ask it first?